I never imagined that my life could change so completely in a single day. My marriage to Karen had been my entire world for over a decade. We had built a home, raised children, and created what seemed to be a stable, happy life. But over the past months, subtle signs began to nag at me. Late nights, secretive phone calls, and vague explanations about her whereabouts. I tried to ignore it, convincing myself it was stress or work, but deep down, I knew something was wrong. The truth hit me like a lightning bolt. I discovered Karen was cheating. Messages, photos, and even her sudden secrecy confirmed my worst fears. The woman I had trusted, loved, and built a life with had shattered our marriage in the most devastating way. Shock and betrayal gave way to a burning clarity. This wasn't just heartbreak, it was an opportunity to reclaim control, deliver consequences, and ensure she could never hide again. I decided on a path that was both calculated and decisive. I began by collecting every piece of evidence, messages, emails, photos, even videos that confirmed her ongoing affair. Every detail mattered. I needed undeniable proof that could be used strategically to expose her betrayal. The more I documented, the more my plan for nuclear revenge began to take shape. Then came the exposure. I went online, sharing the evidence in a way that was calculated, precise, and irreversible. I targeted platforms where the people in our lives and the world could see the truth. Karen's betrayal went viral. The reaction was immediate. Friends, family, and even strangers saw her deceit unfold publicly. The shock, embarrassment, and social fallout were instantaneous. Karen tried to explain, to justify, to plead, but the world had already witnessed her actions. Her attempts to regain control or manipulate the narrative failed completely. I had ensured that the evidence was undeniable, leaving her without any room to maneuver. My revenge was not just personal. It was visible, undeniable, and permanent. While the public exposure was a key part of my plan, I also took legal action. I filed for divorce, ensuring that custody arrangements for our children prioritized their stability and well-being. Financial settlements reflected both legal standards and the emotional impact of her betrayal. Karen had gambled with trust, family, and credibility, and she had lost spectacularly. But my ultimate victory wasn't just legal, it was personal and social. The exposure of her affair elevated me in ways I hadn't anticipated. Friends, colleagues, and even strangers admired the decisiveness and clarity of my response. In a strange and unexpected way, I became known for taking control and reclaiming dignity in the face of betrayal. Karen, meanwhile, faced humiliation, isolation, and permanent damage to her reputation. She had assumed she could cheat and manipulate without consequence. She was wrong. In the weeks that followed, I focused on rebuilding my life and creating stability for my children. Routine, emotional security, and support from friends became my priorities. Karen was left to confront the fallout alone, her audacity and betrayal costing her everything: trust, credibility, and influence. The viral exposure, combined with legal action, ensured that the consequences of her actions were permanent. Reflecting on the experience, I realized that true revenge isn't about impulsive anger or dramatic confrontation. It's about strategy, timing, and reclaiming control. By documenting her betrayal, exposing her online in a calculated manner, and filing for divorce, I delivered consequences that were swift, undeniable, and irreversible. Karen had underestimated me, and the betrayal reshaped our lives. But I emerged with dignity, control, and the ability to rebuild a future free from deception. In the end, this story is one of betrayal, calculated revenge, and social reckoning. A cheating wife thought she could hide her actions, but her exposure online ensured accountability, humiliation, and permanent consequences. Through careful strategic action, I reclaimed control over my life, became unexpectedly recognized, and demonstrated that some betrayals cannot be ignored, forgiven, or forgotten.